This episode is made possible by our sponsor, Omega Bright Wellness. I've taken their omega-3 supplements for many years, and so has my wife, and that's why I invited them to sponsor my podcast. I'm proud to have them. You can find all of their products online at omegabrightwellness.com, and Bright is intentionally misspelled B-R-I-T-E, omegabrightwellness.com. This episode is also sponsored by Landmark College, offering bachelor's and associate programs, short-term and summer programs for students who learn differently. Learn more at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College, the college of choice for students who learn differently. Hello, this is Dr. Ned Hallowell, and welcome to Distraction. This is a special episode because I have a special announcement to make to you all. I've been invited to be on the board of a theme park devoted to ADHD. I am thrilled that someone came up with this idea, and I'm thrilled that it's going to happen. It's opening in the spring of 2022. That's 2022, and construction is underway. They've broken ground in Clearwater, Florida. Good place for a theme park devoted to ADHD. It's going to be called Distraction Land. Isn't that perfect? So now you can literally be driven to Distraction Land. How about that? I mean, you have no idea how happy I am for this development. Highlights of this new ADHD theme park include the ability to ride two rides at once, with a few exceptions, of course. But as we like to multitask, there'll be rides where you can do two simultaneously without, dividing your body into halves. Complimentary key and wallet storage upon entry, since we are so famous for losing and misplacing things. Of course, you have to remember to bring both of those things with you. They can't help you with that little trick, but once you get there, if you do have your keys and your wallets, and anything else you tend to forget, glasses, pen, what have you, you can leave them at the front desk, and they will be there for you to pick up on the way out. Of course, you have to remember to stop to pick them up on the way out. They can't help you with that either. This park will defy time by being open 24 hours. Isn't that perfect? So you come when it works for you. You don't have to worry about calling for hours of operation and whether it's open on Sundays and holidays and whether it's open on leap years or irregular years. It's always open. And that is just ADD heaven. We just, you never have to worry about scheduling your visit. It will have a neurotypical simulator where people like us can experience what it's like not to have ADHD. Can you imagine that? Through a new virtual reality system that simulates neurotypical life. Wouldn't that be something where nobody forgets anything, everyone's on time, nobody interrupts, nobody spazzes out, nobody, comes up with new ideas? It's the kingdom of boredom. Nonetheless, you'll get to experience it. You'll love the thrill of going to the grocery store and coming out with all the items on your list. And yes, the simulator will write the list and will remember to bring it for you, with you. Conversely, there will be an ADHD simulator where you can bring your friend who's neurotypical and get a first-hand experience of what it's like to have a race car brain with bicycle brakes, also known as ADHD. Through virtual reality technology, it'll let your friend, experience what it's like to be you. Just watch them to try to read through a lengthy email from start to finish. It's going to be really funny to have them know what you go through every day. It'll be therapeutic, but also fun, and you can laugh at your friend, and your friend can laugh at you. One of my favorites, there'll be bumper cars on swings. Now, can you imagine that? So you've got the swing going, and so the idea is the bumper cars bump into each other in the air, Clearly, the bumpers will have to be particularly springy and rugged, and the seatbelts in the cars will have to be particularly strong, but you'll get that wonderful sensation of bumping into things while flying through the air. Helmets will be provided, of course. There'll be a 10,000-foot science fiction exploration space filled with shiny things of all sorts, types, and sizes. It will be just a place where you can just explore to your heart's content. Another one of my favorites. There'll also be a dog petting zoo. Where you can bring your dogs and have fun with the petting zoo. The people who thought this up clearly had a lot in mind and had a very fertile imagination. And I can only tell you, I wish it were true. This has been my April Fool's Day joke for our listeners. But maybe someone listening will say, hey, that's a good idea. Let's, in fact, make it into reality, because none of the things I mentioned would be impossible to create or impossible to construct. So I hope whoever is listening today, I hope someone listened to that menu of what would be at the theme park and says to himself or herself, wow, I think that's a great idea. Let's make Distraction Land a reality. But for now, it remains in the world of April Fool's Day jokes and on my wish list. I have to give full credit for it to our producer, Sarah Guertin, who really let her imagination run away with her. It's wonderful to see what a beautiful creation she came up with for our April Fool's Day podcast. Well, that's our podcast for today. Happy April Fool's Day. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Omega Bright Wellness. You can save 20% on your first order with the promo code DISTRACTION at OmegaBrightWellness.com. Bright spelled B-R-I-T-E, OmegaBrightWellness.com. Please, 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 please continue to reach out to us with your questions, comments, and show ideas by emailing connect at distractionpodcast.com. That's the word connect at distractionpodcast.com. Distraction is created by Sounds Great Media. Our producer, who particularly produced today's show, is the very imaginative Sarah Guertin. And our recording engineer and editor is the droll and also imaginative Scott Persson. I'm the rather pedestrian Dr. Ned Hallowell. And thank you so very, very much for listening. The episode you just heard was made possible by my good friends at Omega Bright Wellness. I take their supplements every day, and that's why I invited them to sponsor my podcast. Shop online at Omega Bright, and that's B-R-I-T-E, wellness.com.